This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor next to his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on a monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and walked out into the hallway.
Hello everyone, this is Jamie back with part 2 of the Stanley Parable. Now, in the last video you can see, if you watched my last video that is, I came to an abrupt death, and sudden death that I didn't really want. So, I am going to find all the endings of this game for you to enjoy.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge.
I know.
He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others. So the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
That is true.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
he
entered the door on it. This was not the correct way to the employee lounge, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. So he turned left at the first open door and walked back in the right direction.
I feel the urge to turn left. Oh my god.
And like that, he was back on track.
La la la, let's skippy through the holly halls. Oh, woohoo, I'm skipping through the halls.
As Stanley entered the lounge, he was horrified to find not a single person here. He decided he would walk up to see his boss, hoping that he would find an answer there.
Let's go find the boss, and that looks pretty advanced for my work study. Huh. Uncle Kitty. Okay. Or Uncle Ken. What do these markings mean? Science, Stanley. They mean science. Hello, anyone home? No.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'll go up just to appease him.
Entering his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
There's a chair over there. It was moved.
That he began to feel dizzy and a little sick, and even thought he might pass out when suddenly he noticed a keypad next to the filing cabinet in the corner of his boss's office. Stanley had never seen this panel before and had no idea what combination of numbers would produce any result. In fact, only Stanley's boss knew this, since the panel withheld access to the boss's greatest, darkest secret. And so he had assigned
his Playboy collection,
a combination that only he could possibly know. The number of his freshman dorm number in college. 1957. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yeah, I'm just a mind reader. 1, 5, 9, 7. Woo!
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs, Trying to input anything on the keypad was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 1957.
That's what I'm doing. 1957.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
Oh.
Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Shut up.
Amazing.
That was
Stanley
my fault,
ventured
guys.
forth into the newly opened passageway.
I have a bit of dyslexia, so that was sorry, my fault. I thought it was 1597. That said 1957. So without further ado, let's be Stanley and listen to this horrible man, this horrible British voice telling us what to do. Well, he's not horrible. He's just a bit sarcastic and killed us
As
once
he
already.
drew deeper into the bowels of the building, Stanley had no idea where he was or what this place held. And just as he
Where
began
am I
to think he
working?
might not discover a thing,
By the way,
he emerged into a long room to find rows and rows of monitors.
what?
Screens
Hey, it's
with a
me.
number above it.
427.
Stanley noticed, however, that these were not random numbers, but the number of employees who worked in the building, his co-workers.
Co-workers.
Even his own number, 427.
I know, it found
had a
me.
place on
Look
the
at me,
wall.
I found me.
But why a setup so elaborate, he asked. Was this simple surveillance, or something even more? And as if in answer to his question, the wall slid open before him, revealing the ultimate truth of the situation.
What's the ultimate truth? Whoa, hello! Is this some sort of FBI secret organization from Black Mesa that I
An
have known
enormous
about?
control panel, Stanley discovered, but not one that controlled simple machinery. Buttons were labeled with emotions. Happy, sad. Levers and knobs controlled actions. Walking, eating,
Oh my
doing
God.
work, or watching TV.
No way.
Every input on this device monitored not the functions of a machine, but of a human being. And the reality began to sink in. Stanley, like so many other people, reduced to images on a monitor,
No.
had been under someone's control,
No.
always at the mercy of
No.
this machine. Could this have
No.
been the only reason employee number
No.
427
No.
was content with his
No.
boring job?
No.
That a
No,
machine
it can't
had
be.
altered his emotions to
It's
accept
not
it
true.
blindly? He began
It's
to feel an
impossible.
unbridled rage, and at the peak of his anger, something happened. A spark.
I know some. Whoa.
Stanley
Hello.
looked up and saw the generator overhead, still providing some small amount of power to the machine, keeping it alive. And knowing that this generator
weird.
was all that kept the controls running, Stanley moved to the ladder in the back of the room and began to climb towards the rafters.
Okay. Guess I'm gonna climb the rafters, guys. Let's see. Let's find the ladder. Oh, that's loud. Let's get to where this is going.
The
Let's
higher
go.
Stanley climbed, the closer he felt to freedom, the further from enslavement.
Enslavement. I'm so angry because they enslaved me. Actually, I'm kind of kind of enjoying this because it's like I'm in the Matrix. You know, ever feel like that, guys? You just woken up in the Matrix. What do I do, guys? Do I be good or do I be bad? Or bad or good, I don't... Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, get you take a bite of dough. If you hurt, let him go, out, go, what, oh, you... you know what, I'm gonna go with this. Disable generator.
Blackness,
What?
power gone, all alone.
I can't see.
And then
I can't see. Hey.
Hey, Dad,
Oh.
go get Sarah. Wait for the call.
Is it true? Am I free?
as he stepped through the door
Woo!
into the fresh outside air, A feeling of liberation rushed through Stanley's body. He had seen power. He had seen enslavement, and he had destroyed it. The underling was in control now. He had found his leading role.
Yes, I have.
Stanley never discovered why everyone had gone missing, nor how and when he had come under the machine's control. But
No,
it
I
didn't
hadn't.
upset him terribly, because
No.
he knew that this was how things were meant to happen.
I guess.
All he felt was a delight unlike any he had ever known before.
This is a great ending.
Never again would he follow someone else's orders without question. Never again would anyone tell Stanley where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
Yes.
No more bosses. No more instructions on a screen. Stanley decides for himself now.
Yes.
And he stepped out into the world. And he
Yes, I
felt
did.
the cool breeze upon his skin.
Oh, yes, I
And
did.
Stanley was happy.
I was so happy. And that was ending number 2, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. And I will see you all in my next video. Thank you, Davey Whedon, for his insanely amazing mod. I'll be doing another video on this soon to get more endings. And as always, see you all in the next video, guys. Bye. Jimmy out.